This is what I want you to write down. Know the difference between invading or inviting. Okay? In order for us to really repair the relationship or fix the relationship, whatever word would you like to use, have a right connection, I would like to create a place where people agree in the same thing, which is animals are not the problem. It's humans who don't know how to connect and communicate. So if you can think that way, this is the platform. If you think that training a dog is what you're looking for, you're not going to understand what I'm about to say. And what I do is actually very simple. It's actually very natural, very profound. And for those who have watched the show, I don't train dogs. I train humans. I think people mean well, but if you don't understand the simplicity behind, how dogs learn, and then it's going to be impossible for you to communicate what you want. So I think it's first, we humans have to understand how to connect, how to communicate, and then we can have a relationship. Once we establish that relationship of trust, respect, and love, then we can move into training. Okay? Then we can move into training a dog. Yeah, do they enjoy being trained? Yes, but that's a mental challenge. It has nothing to do with connection. I work with a lot of dogs who are trained, and I'm pretty sure if you watch an episode that everybody loves, the whole world loves, his name was Gavin. So Gavin was a Labrador who came back from Iraq, and they wanted to retire him. Gavin saved a lot of lives. His job was to find explosives, but he developed post-traumatic stress. So Gavin was a dog who was trained to find explosives, to do obedience. But they couldn't help him to retire, right? So imagine that. So you learn all these things in life. You become a doctor, you become a lawyer, you are trained, but you don't know how to achieve happiness. You don't know how to achieve calmness. You don't know how to connect, how to just enjoy life in a simple way. So that's why for me, I prioritize more the connection than the training. So let's keep our minds focused on we need to be trained before we actually establish a relationship with a dog, before we actually have a relationship with a dog. You can practice this with a horse, with a cat, with a bird. Certainly, when people come to the ranch, they get to see that with all the animals that we have at the ranch, with a donkey, with a horse, with a llama, with alpacas and chickens and dogs and everything we have. People get to see what I'm talking about: trust, respect, love, calm, confident, love, and joy. So we do follow a formula in the TCW. We do follow a formula at the ranch, and everybody pretty much practice the same thing. It's just a beautiful thing. It's the same thing as speaking the same language. If we all learn Spanish and then we can communicate, we can connect, and we can have a relationship. And that's why we humans have to really, really take in consideration the whole world, even though it loves dogs, they don't understand how to connect. They don't understand how to communicate. And so that becomes a big problem, and I'm pretty sure that you can take that concept outside. And we love relationships. Doesn't mean we know how to connect in a relationship. I'm certainly learning that as I go in life. So we definitely don't know how to connect human to human, communicate human to human, and have a relationship of trust, respect, and love. So I'm very interested in really changing the world, especially right now, where the world was sent into a reflection. It was sent into thinking about what you value in life and become more pack oriented at home with this COVID-19. I think we're in a perfect time to really pay attention to the simple things of life and how we can contribute to balance and to harmony and to not polluting the world and global warming and all of those things that we hear about it, but we don't really execute a plan as a world. So that's why I keep saying the questions about dogs, it's not about us training the dog as much as about us training ourselves. And today we have a good friend of mine, a guy that actually helps me at helping a lot of people at the ranch, because he was a student first. You know, his name is Michael, and I saw a lot of potential in him right from the beginning. He had a little problems with his dogs like everybody else, and I said, listen, you just have to calm down and just set the rules, the boundaries, the limitations at home. Well, Michael took it not only to change the life of his dogs and his life of himself. He also took it all the way to becoming a teacher. You know, so Michael does a lot of the meditation things that we do at the ranch. And why meditation? Why a dog behaviorist or a dog trainer, whatever you want to say? Why are they including meditation? Because I'm always trying to help people to begin with calmness. Right? Everybody likes to begin excited. Everybody likes to begin in a rush or tense or even unconscious. So, when Michael came to me and said, listen, I'm teaching meditation, I'm teaching Tai Chi, I'm teaching all of this to people, to my clients, to his clients, because he came from being a student to become a teacher and to make this as a business, right? So, but he saw the opportunity, he saw the space that it was needed for people to actually begin. For me, it's very easy to enter into a calm state around animals. It's just, I grew up that way, and it's something that is not hard for me just to clear my mind and breathe properly and just be with the animal without thinking or without, any source of time or any sort of stories behind. Is just natural to me. But thanks to Michael, we added into TCW, and a lot of people have had great results. Because the hardest thing for human is to calm down. When they interview me and they say, Cesar, what's the hardest dog in the world? What's the most difficult dog in the world? Can you give us like a story of a dog that is absolutely impossible to rehabilitate? And I said, well, listen, I never had a problem with a dog, even though dogs bite me and they have issues. But the hardest thing to change is a human. And the hardest thing to change a human is to ask him to be calm and then to be patient. That's the hardest thing. For some reason, obviously, we learned that along the way. We learn in our environments and with our parents and in our communities and even on TV. We learn not to be calm. We learn not to be patient. And that is, to me, like the foundation of what I teach. That's what I'm always saying. Calm and then confident. So, it's especially for people who are afraid of dogs. For example, let me give you an example of how easy this is. So people who are afraid of dogs, they don't really want to know about dogs. They don't really want to, have a dog. What they have to learn is just to calm the fear. That's it. So what those people have to learn is just learn how to breathe in front of a dog. A dog doesn't have to be too close to them. Just remove what they're thinking and remove what they really want to experience, right? So at the end of the day, calmness plays the biggest role. So if you want to change anything in the behavior of a dog, you can't start without the energy of calmness. You can't. If you do, you're not going to be as successful as you want to be. And the dog is going to go right back to his old habits, because for them, calmness means trust. So without trust, you can't really build respect. You can't really build proper affection or proper love. So calmness plays the biggest role. Remember, day one, we started with the word agreement. Very important to know, to establish relationship with people. What do you believe? What do you mean by words? What do you mean by rituals? What do you mean by formula? What do you mean by, acting in a certain way? So that comes down to one word, agreement. And yesterday, we talked about the power of walking your dog where the dog is nose away from the ground, the eyes are focused on moving and following you, and the dog is proud. So the dog is doing three things during the walk. Nose away from the ground, 60% of the brain is focusing on you. Then the eyes is being told where to go. right? So now you got 70. Now you got 75 because eyes control 15% of the brain. And on top of that, you're telling the dog to be very proud as he's following you. So think about it. Nose away from the ground, eyes are paying attention to the direction that you want, and you're telling him or her to be proud about it. If you study walks, the way people walk with their dogs, most of the time the nose is in the ground, the eyes are all over the place, and the body language is not a proud body language. So that's what the dog is getting, and that's what the dog is receiving during that walk. So agreement, a proper walk, and today we're going to talk about calmness. Today we're going to talk about the power of calmness, right? It's going to give you the real understanding, the real access to control behavior. Many of the questions that people have is like, how do I control a territorial dog? How do I make sure that my dog doesn't control the furniture or control on the fence or bark at the fence or claim the house or things like that? Sorry. So we will definitely address that, and that's actually very simple. That everything that we do with a dog is actually simple. So we're gonna see it as I need you to see it as we got it right this time. We got it right this time. Look at this. We're so proud of ourselves. Yes. So this is going to give you access to understand territory or to understand proximities or to understand distance. This is where I want you to write down. Know the difference between invading or inviting. Okay? So when a dog comes to you, or when a dog moves to the fence, or when a dog moves to the door before you, he's going to end up inviting. So that's going to let him know that he can behave in a territorial way. It's natural. It's absolutely natural, right? So whoever makes the first decision, whoever's get to the place or to the situation first, he has the right to control the situation. Okay?
So can you hold it higher so the comments aren't covering the picture? So hold it higher.
Okay. So distance. You invite the dog to come to you. But most people, they do this. They move to the dog. So most dog lovers, they actually move to the dog. And that's the beginning of a dog not respecting boundaries, not respecting environment, and then having the need to control the situation. So even the way you invite, let's move a dog out of the picture. The way you invite humans into your house dictate who's going to control that environment. The way you invite humans into your personal intimate space is going to dictate how the human perceives a relationship with you. So, if you don't want a dog to be territorial, make sure you begin to think in a way of, I'm going to invite him or her to the couch, to the bed, to the fence, to the door, or around food. Most people practice the concept of waiting, such as like sit, stay, and the dog is super excited sitting, but waiting to be out. So very, very, very important to know the difference of a dog that is at a distance, calm, and then is invited to come in. His mind is going to function completely different. This is why it's very important for you to learn, is my dog calm or is my dog quiet and excited? And a lot of times people, what they have is a quiet, excited dog. And I'm pretty sure you're seeing this in people, okay? A lot of people are quiet, but they're thinking. They're not calm. So a calm people will be a person that is doing meditation, a person that is a monk, for example. This is why I love, Buddhas, because it really embraces the power of calmness. It reminds you how, that we should start our days with calmness, or at least with animals. If you don't want to embrace the calmness into the human to human, it's up to you. But with animals, that is the only way to start, and that is the only way to finish. Most people start excited, hey, and most people finish, hey, excited. So throughout the day, the human is constantly telling the dog to maintain his excited frame of mind. But that human is the one who comes and asks my help. Cesar, how do I stop my dog from doing this? It's really hard to stop an excited human, and it's really hard to stop an excited dog. So I'm not saying not to practice excitement. What I'm saying is don't forget calmness. So calmness, excitement, calmness. So the middle of the day is when you practice, play, explore. But then the beginning, follow me, and then at the end, follow me. So the way they actually can give you 100% follow is when they go into a calm state. Same thing like us. So if we are going to listen to someone, we need to be in a calm state. Otherwise, we're not going to feel the person, we're not going to hear the person, we're not going to see the person. Absolutely not. We're just going to stay there pretending to listen. Because the energy inside of us is not going to allow us to absorb information of the other humans. So if we do that, imagine animals, they don't rationalize. So they only respond based on the energy you give them. Okay, let me get that part. Jesus. Okay. Yay, they can read it well. So proud of you, Kim. You did it right this time. Look, so energy, who you are in the animal world is energy. You're not race, you're not gender, you're not age. They don't see that part. I'm pretty sure that you will understand that they don't really care about your race, about your name, about your age. None of that is influential to how they see you. What influenced them is this. Did you know how what energy you are? So it doesn't matter if you're 50 years old and you're sad, or you're 5 years old and you're sad. What they see is the energy, right? So it's very important to know. So this is your only healthy energies. That's it. Those are the four energies you have to master. You have to really learn to bring it out of you. And most people, what they bring is these two energies. So all dog lovers, they know how to bring these two energies: love and excitement. But so when I train humans, this is what I help them bring. Let's bring calmness. Let's bring confidence, knowledge. Let's bring love, timing, and let's bring joy, reward, right? So we begin this way and we finish that way. So calm, confident, love, joy. Most people have this. So this is the people that hire me. This is the people that have this energy. This is the people that hire me. And then the TCW trainers and the volunteers and everybody, once you come to the ranch, you're gonna see humans that are embodying all the four energies. So imagine to be in a place where all the people around you give you calmness, confidence, love, joy every single day for 4 days. So that's going to influence how you perceive life. And that's what I was saying about agreement. Let's agree that before we have a dog, that we have to understand this. And that we have to understand this. Agreement, commitment, and follow through. So then we are going to establish a more community-like way of being with animals. And then we're going to establish a more community-like way to be around the planet. Pollution in the world is an agreement of people throwing trash. So how do we clean the world? We all agree to not throw trash anymore, and we all agree to clean it up, right? So it's that simple. It's that simple. Changing the relationship with our dogs is that simple. It's not as easy to change the relationship with humans, but it's definitely a good place to start. I mean, it's like training wheels before you go into a more challenging transformation. Okay, so dogs for me are healers. Dogs for me are teachers. Dogs for me are perfect role models. I don't. That's why I don't train dogs. Why would I train someone who I want to learn from? It just doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. So I hope this point of view is getting you in the right track. So please don't lose your patience. Please don't lose your hope. Please don't lose your vision, because you have not even started. You have not even started with the most simplest step, which is energy. You know, you have not even started with this. This is the most important of all of it. This is actually loving consciously. So you want to bring this too, because this is what gives you trust, respect. This is what gives direction, protection. This one rewards whatever you have. This is like when you give like the treat, when you give like the toy, when you give your verbal reward. You know, when you're saying good boy or good girl. That's the purpose of this too. This is to celebrate accomplishment. This is to celebrate trust and respect. So most people give affection or excitement at the wrong time. So it's the same thing as you're doing something in life and you put in an ingredient at the wrong time, you know, or if you put in too much salt on food, it's not going to become the way you want it. So everything has to be measured. Everything has to be balanced. Everything has to be at a certain time, so you get the outcome that you're looking for. And again, what the outcome that we should all look for before we train a dog is to achieve trust, is to achieve respect, is to achieve love, in that order, you know, because order do influence the outcome that we're looking for. And so that's why, you know, when people go to school, they follow certain steps. When you go to church, they follow certain steps. But when you go anywhere in the world, the structure allows you to enjoy that situation. So let's bring Michael, no? Yes. Let's bring Michael.
Let's go find Michael. Hey guys. Right here.
Exercise, discipline, body, mind, heart, you know, honesty. You know what exercise, discipline, affection means to me? It means honesty, integrity, loyalty. It means trust, respect, love. It means nose, eyes, ears. It means rules, bounds, limitations. So the whole thing about exercise, discipline, affection is really to honor all of that I just mentioned. It's just exercise, discipline, affections is words that people are more familiar with. It's words that people are attached to dogs more often. But honesty, integrity, loyalty, trust, respect, love, rules, bounds, limitations, nose, eyes, ears, formula, rituals, and symbols is what that means. It's what is really is the secret of that formula. Why it's so powerful, you know? Because when I started working with people like 20-something years ago, people were doing not exercise, discipline, affection. People were doing affection, affection, affection. And they expected the dog to listen to them, and they expected the dog to behave properly. And so it was really hard, you know, for people to understand why the formula of affection, affection, affection is not an effective formula. So it took a while for people to accept the exercise is affection. It took a while for people to accept the structure, you know, discipline is affection. Michael!
Hey, Cesar, how are you?
Nice to see you, my friend. I was giving a little bit of a background how we met, you know, and how our relationship evolved. I love your background, by the way.
Thank you. I have a lot of light back here. I'm trying to adjust it so I'm not so.
Right.
Is that better? There we go.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, but I just love the bamboo. I love the bamboo. Perfect. Yeah, I got my crystals in the back. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hey, tell them a little bit about how we met. Look, listen, people are saying food aggression, you know, people talk about food aggression. Don't focus on what the dog is doing, right? Do not focus on what the dog is doing. That's what I teach. Don't worry about the dog. Let's focus on you.
Right.
Right? Let's focus on, let me help you change how you think, how you breathe, how you feel, how you connect with people around you, right? Because once I help you align that in a much efficient way, your dogs are going to mirror your happiness, your calmness, your confidence, you know, your sense of community. You know, are you a human that like to help other humans, or you're a human that stays away from other humans? So people don't realize that by by not being friendly with people in a calm way, the dog also imitate that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people don't like people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of times people don't realize I am actually frustrated. You know what I mean? I am actually, I don't practice patience. So this is what we're communicating to a dog.
Yes.
You know? So, but please tell them how we met so they can hear it from you.
Yeah. So I came to you because I was having some challenges with one of my dogs who was very nervous, anxious, sensitive, um, reactive, and I wasn't quite sure how to give her the proper guidance, leadership, what she needed, because I felt that I was experienced and knowledgeable and connected and especially understood other people's animals,
Mm-hmm.
but I suddenly was in a situation where I was too far in the forest to see the trees. It was my own experience, and it was like I was caught in this cloud and not able to receive clarity. And I thought, well, who's the best ultimate animal communicator and behaviorist and guide? And that was you. And I just felt guided to come to you. Unfortunately, I'm in LA. Mm-hmm. So I went to your site and saw you had the fundamentals programs, and I on so many levels, I was challenged to step out of my comfort zone. I was in an environment where I was supported by other people who were not judgmental, who were willing to allow me to make mistakes and to explore myself and recognize where I'm currently at and what I need. And I'll never forget, you pulled me up on stage to do the treadmill exercise, and I got up there and I felt pretty confident about it, like, okay, this is going to go all right. And you put your hand on me and you looked at the audience and you said, how does Michael feel to you guys? And everybody was like tense. And and you pointed out there's a difference between calm and assertive and quiet and tense. And
That's
I realized, wow, I'm quiet and tense. And I meditated and I taught meditation. And, you know, here I was confident, but I wasn't doing the self-inventory. Right. And so you taught me how to just sort of pull the lens back and take a step out of myself and see objectively, and not only see, but feel. And most importantly, to really be in the moment.
That's
to really feel. And one other point that I love that you taught that I learned, and I always share with people, is the difference between the story and the truth. Oof. And with my dog, she's been abused, and she was a rescue, and she was from South Central, and she was on death row, and, you know, all of that stuff. I learned from you that doesn't matter. It's all about who she is now and the energy that I am sharing with her. Right.
That's right. That's right. And you know, and to have a community, like, you know, the reason why I created a ranch. I mean, South Central is where I started. You know what I mean? So I started rescuing dogs, not because I knew rescue. In Mexico, when I came, you know, in the beginning, I never saw anybody rescuing dogs. You know what I mean? There's street dogs everywhere. So, but I never heard somebody rescuing dogs. But when I went to South Central, I saw dogs who were used for fighting purposes. But this natural way for me to, okay, so if I'm going to help you, I'm not going to hold what happened to you. I'm just going to make sure I clean you up. I'm going to give you a shelter. I'm going to give you a family. And you're going to help me to rehabilitate dogs. So one thing that a lot of people don't remember or don't know is that all the pit bulls that I had before Dog Whisperer were dogs from the streets. So that what I give them was I clean it up because they were bleeding. And I give them a home, and I give them a family, and I give them a purpose. You know, so I had 16 pit bulls who were used to for fighting purposes. They became my right hands. You know, so I believe in paying it forward. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew it felt the right thing to do. You know, even though at that time I didn't have the income that is required to have 16 dogs. So the people that were paying me, you know, to take care of the dogs, I would use that money to take care of the street dogs. So that's when I start saying, well, I guess I have to deposit money in the Karma Bank, and in the other banks I can support my human family.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's where the whole point about story versus reality was born.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the awareness, like the self-awareness. Why do I do this? I mean, intellectually it doesn't make any sense, you know, to take another dog. I mean, I'm broke, but it spiritually felt really good, emotionally felt really good. So my point that I'm trying to make is, how do you feed calmness? How do you feed joy? How do you feed love? How do you feed confidence, even though economically speaking or intellectually speaking doesn't make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and in the animal world, let me get that. Oh my God, these things are so thick. Okay, that's not it. Sorry. So in the animal world, this one is irrelevant. You know, this one is irrelevant. These are your powerful sources. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so I want you to speak a little bit about how can we achieve calmness through meditation. I just said a little bit of, you can achieve calmness or joy or confidence through help, right? You can achieve calmness of confidence through teaching. You know, you can
Yeah.
achieve calmness and confidence to visualize what you want, like the ranch. I visualized this new place that has never existed, but it gave
Mm-hmm.
me a lot of calmness. It gave me a lot of confidence. It gave me a lot of joy. It gave me a lot of love. You know, to the point that when people arrive at the ranch, you feel peace, safe, and love. You feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know. And
Yeah.
so, can you help us a little bit? And what can people do? What is the basic, simple breathing techniques or way of thinking? Because you know the question they asked me about how do I stop my dog from being aggressive? Well, guess what? A tense human will never achieve that, right? How do I stop my dog from being territorial? Guess what? What a human who doesn't know the power of calmness will never slow the brain down.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to give people the most important ingredients of what we do, which is the power of calmness.
Yes. Well, and you hit on it, right? There's so many things that you said that are what I was feeling guided to share. Breath. First of all, breath. I feel people are often really intimidated by meditation. Oh, I can't calm my mind. I think too much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too busy. I don't have the time. So I always encourage people to just set the intention, just take it day to day and set the intention. Okay, today I'm going to find 5 minutes to just focus on my breath, and just 5 minutes. And that's just closing your eyes, making sure you take a deep breath. And you typically can take a deep breath and count to four, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 2 and exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're focusing on the counting, you're teaching your brain to focus on at least one thing. So you're blocking out all of the racing mind, and it's just calming you down and centering you. But as most importantly, as you're breathing, you're clearing your system and you're aligning yourself and you're grounding yourself in the moment. And often people don't realize, and you and I have talked about this before, how people aren't breathing. They're
Mm-hmm.
they're in this shallow breathing
Mm-hmm.
pattern of just like, not, they're thinking and talking and frustrated and anxious. And so just taking a deep breath is just, oh, wow, okay, that helps. So that's the first step. Another thing you pointed out and you've been talking about a lot is the love and joy and feeding your spirit. And I saw somebody in their comments was talking about this is feeding their spirit being here right now. It's really important to feed your spirit and honor your outlets and what makes you happy and what brings you joy, and really feeling that in your heart and honoring that in the moment. What feels like love for you, what you love. It could be your dogs, or it could be painting, or it could be running, but just really feeling that vibration of love. Because to your point with the energy is emotion times intention. When we feel the emotion of love and then set an intention, it fuels it. It's almost like the gas. And gratitude too. When we feel the gratitude and the love, it's like the gas on the pedal to bring us into alignment and calm. But yeah, just breath work, 5 minutes. Then you can increase it to 10 minutes, and just visualize on one thing, your breath, and that will build the momentum. We start to build a momentum, and it's like a muscle where we're
Yeah.
strengthening with each day. So that's like the first step, I think.
Yeah. Listen, just like let's just remind people that can they do this? Of course, because the fact that you breathe in shallow, it took repetitions.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you created stories, it took repetitions. So
Mm-hmm.
everything in life is repetitions. It's
Mm-hmm.
just we unconsciously being told the wrong repetitions of
Mm-hmm.
the wrong formula. That's why I keep saying the world doesn't know that they don't know. So if you want to enter into teaching, you can lose patience, you can lose empathy, you can lose compassion. A lot of times, people are saying about, people, cultures, they eat dogs. They say, well, they don't know. That's all they know. So you can't go in there and make them feel bad. The best thing you can do is given an understanding there is another option,
Mm-hmm.
there is another choice, and there is actually a healthy one, right? So you can inspire from inside so they can make a true change. Because
Mm-hmm.
people can say, I changed, but they do it behind. So that means you didn't touch spirit. That means you didn't touch heart. That means you didn't touch instincts. You follow what I mean?
Yeah.
So, most people don't know how to love a dog. They think they are, but when they come to TCW, they realize, okay, I am not looking at it that way. No wonder this is the outcome. So once you take self-control, self-realization, and you actually give yourself power, but you're kind to yourself. Because when people realize when they've been doing it wrong for a long time, they go after themselves. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
a safe. You need a safe place. You need a group of people that have gone through what you've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta feel that empathy. You gotta feel that compassion. You have to feel safe of being wrong.
Yeah.
Because we're the only species that follow unstable leaders. I said it over and over and over and over. The only species in the planet that follow instability.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that if you don't want to, that's all is available in stability.
Yeah.
Negativity is right now a moment of uncertainty. It's a moment that you can create so much great. To me, it's like when I before I jumped the border or before I even came to the border, the uncertainty that you feel living in Sinaloa, a narco environment where most kids, the only role model they have is a drug dealer. You know what I mean? So from 10 kids, at least 9 will become drug dealers.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? But if your mind is changed and is being told to think different, to have a different agreement, to use a different part of you, you can actually change the outcome of things,
Mm-hmm.
such as aggressive dog, territorial dog, excited dog, a dog who doesn't listen. You can change that, but you first have to change yourself. That's why we don't train dogs. I mean, we can, but I think we can do a much healing to the world by making sure that humans are conscious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So
Yeah.
that way that the human with the dog is walking with a conscious mind.
Yes.
Is loving at a high level, is actually understanding the pursuit of happiness by living in that moment and have honesty, integrity, loyalty. That's
Yeah.
your spirituality, you know values, meaning, and purpose. So with that, and then you breathe well, that's what you charge yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know that's
Yeah. And something else you talked about, like, people just don't know anything else but to become a drug dealer because that's all they know.
where I'm
And
from.
another key important thing we talk about too at TCW, at the DPC, is holding a vision.
Yeah.
Holding a vision of how you want to feel. And it's not just mental, being in the mental world, just thinking about it, but it's creating the vision, but then feeling it and allowing yourself to feel that and put that out into your frequency and your environment so your dogs will feel that. So often people are focusing on their dogs biting or lunging or being territorial, and they're focusing on what they don't want. But when we meditate and connect in with our breath and we ground and center, we're creating space for ourselves to connect with that inner knowing that will inspire us. That's always there within us. We
Yeah.
just need to move the clouds, to create that vision of, okay, rather than what I don't want, I'm going to focus on what I do want. A peaceful walk. My dog is by my side. They're surrendering. They're following my leadership and holding that vision. And that can almost be a meditation. Just each day creating a vision and allowing yourself to feel it for a few minutes, and then go into your day and just allow yourself to manifest that, to create that for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the vision or the focus, it shouldn't be my dog is aggressive or help me change my dog aggression. It's more like how do I achieve calmness, or how I achieve a balanced walk. So then your focus and your instincts and your heart and your spirit and even the people, they will come to you, because that's what you're calling in the universe, right? That's what you're calling around you. That's what you're trying to gravitate. How do you empower yourself? By changing the way you think, by changing the way you breathe, by changing how you love, right? So those three worlds: instinctual world, emotional world, spiritual world. Now you make it work for you. You know what I mean? Because the dog knows, okay, my human is not very instinctual. If it's not very instinctual, we're gonna get hurt. My human is emotionally unstable. I have to protect them. My human is spiritually lost. I have to guide them. So by people not understanding that the way we communicate to ourselves, that's pretty much what we're saying to our dogs. Listen, I have no idea how to protect you. I have no idea how to guide you. I have no idea how to love you. So it's impossible for an animal to feel safe in front of a human who is confused, and in front of a human who's emotionally unstable and is spiritually lost. It's impossible. You know, that's why for me it's like, okay, what is happening in around all these people that love dogs so much? Why are they not being effective with their energy? You know, I'm pretty sure you heard me saying dogs in third country are skinny, but they don't have psychological problems. Dogs in America are chunky, and I get to have a TV show. I didn't came to America to have a TV show. I came to America to learn from Americans. Right. You know, but I saw the need. So instead of me looking about what they're doing wrong, I saw what do they need. You get it? So then okay, so let me give them what they need. They need to understand the difference of a proper walk versus, you know, a different kind of walk. And so, but well, I do want my dog to be in front. Okay, let's just schedule that. Let's just put it in a way where it's beneficial to you and it's beneficial to them. But don't forget that you have to nurture their instincts. You know, why follow is so important. I was talking about that yesterday, you know. I mean, homeless people are amazing about it, and handicapped people are amazing about it, and they practice more that activity than play or explore. You know, and so when the whole world understand the power of a breath and the power of a beautiful walk, 90% of the problems with dogs are going to change. You know what I mean? The other ones are just rules, boundaries, limitations. And then you just make those little adjustments. You give affection at the right time. You got the perfect dog. From a breath, from walking properly, and rules, boundaries, limitations, giving affection at the right time, you're done. You're practically done. Yeah. Life is simple. We make it complicated. Yes. You know, so in one area of our life that we can live absolutely happy and balanced, it should be with our animals, because that's all they want. You know, some humans don't want to change. Some humans enjoy drama. But that's what they want to go through. You know, they're not ready to live, you know, safe, peace, love. They're not ready. So you have to allow that. Yeah. But with animals, they don't want that. Animals don't want instability. Animals don't want disconnection. Animals don't want to live without trust, respect, and love. They just don't. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of being with animals. Hey, guys, and you don't have to have a dog. You can foster a dog. You understand? And actually, it's a great idea for people, so they learn a lot more. You know, and so you learn. You know, you foster one dog, it's like reading a book, and then you get another one, until you know you're ready for a commitment. You know, not everybody is committed. So the reason why America has shelters is because people are not committed. Yeah. You know, shelters in certain parts of Europe, they don't have it. you know, because they know they enter into a commitment and they have a certain rules that they have to abide by. So there is no shelters. You know, Germans go outside Germany to get dogs. You know, Finland don't have shelters either. You know what I mean? So there is places in the world that they have learned to figure it out, how to make their community committed. But they have to be in agreement. Agreement, commitment, follow through. We're not there yet. But it's always a good time to start.
With awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, consciously love someone. You know, consciously do things. We use consciousness for other things, but people don't use consciousness to be in a relationship with a dog. You know, hey, you want to make money? Be conscious so the universe can help you to make money. You want to be famous? Be conscious so you can, you know, be famous. But, you know, money, fame, and power, that's fine. You know, but why not use it with your dog? That same thing, so you can see that you can make it happen. It's tangible. You know what I mean? When we bring a dog on the treadmill, and you know, people seeing the dog struggling, but they think it's the dog struggling, or they think it's the treadmill. And when somebody like you, myself, or somebody else, they understand energy, we come and grab the leash, the dog completely changed the struggle. Because we're feeding the right energy, so he knows how to resolve the problem. So we become teamwork. And then the dog said, whoa, this treadmill actually makes me trust you more, human. Actually make me feel very proud of myself. But we did it together. And on top of that, you gave me food or you gave me affection. Now, loving you is much easier. Trust, respect, love. So when you feed calm, confident, love, and joy, you create trust, respect, love. When you feed exercise, discipline, affection, you create trust, respect, love. When you feed rules, boundaries, limitations, you create trust, respect, love. When you feed honesty, integrity, loyalty, you create trust, respect, love. You know what I mean? That's the real leash. When you breed calmness, you feed trust.
Yeah.
For us, you're very important, you know, and how you change people's life, how you help me change people's life, you know, because every time, and so how was the session with Michael? Everybody's like, I feel like I took a load away from my shoulders. I can breathe, you know. So I want to tell you, you're doing an amazing job. Thank you for helping me change lives. You know, to have a pack is very important. You know what I mean? You definitely have added that thing that was important. You know what I mean? I know I can do some things for people, but I know I need people that want to achieve the same thing that I want to achieve. Better humans, better planet. That's a tagline that I'm in love with. You know what I mean? And it's just beautiful to have people like yourself as a team, as part of the pack.
Oh, thank you. And I'm so grateful to be a part of your team and to be sharing your mission, not only at the DPC, but out in the world. And my work, just the calm, confidence, love, and joy, the trust, respect, love, to live in the moment. And it's so great when everybody comes to the ranch and we get back together and we see people grow and expand and learn and level up and calm down and turn in center. It's really an amazing opportunity. And so thank you for just letting me be a part of your dream.
And we do it in 4 days.
4 days.
In 4 days. First day, we go after people. Second day, people are like, it's happening. Third day is like, I feel different. Fourth day, we're celebrating. We do calm, confident, love, and joy. 4 days is just the most amazing feelings. I miss it. I mean, I miss that. You know what I mean? That's one of my favorite things to do in my profession is bringing people to the ranch. Because it's live. You know,
it's healing.
I mean? It's healing.
There's
It's
the
live.
energy there. There really is an energy there that's healing the land. And there's a power, there's a spirit, everything there with Philly and the animals. There's a pulse that everybody feels, and it's a blessing to being there.
Yeah. It all came from a dream. So if I can dream that, if, you know, people can dream about a dog not being territorial, you know, just focus the right energy to it. You know, when people are saying, I just want my dog to change, I want the whole world to change. I think my mission is a lot more crazy than just one dog. So if we can achieve this, what I'm trying to say is, doesn't mean how small or big it is. You just have to put the right energy into it. You just have to have the right pack into it. And you have to go after the repetitions. Agreement, commitment, follow through. Thank you, Michael. We love you. Everybody, thank you so much for joining in. That's day number 3. Please stay calm, confident, love, and joy. Please keep that vision moving. You surround yourself with amazing people and give yourself a lot of love and give yourself a lot of patience. Love you guys. Thank you.